I would like to introduce now, please put your hands together, to our National President, Mr. Neil Harvey.
Madam District President, Madam Club President, Mr. District President, ladies and gentlemen. As National President of the Association of Speakers Clubs, thank you for inviting me to your club charter dinner this evening in Swindon, and also to the district conference here tomorrow, which I am really looking forward to. Being here tonight, listening and sharing with you all the good work that's being done in your club, area, district, especially the connections you have and the work that's happening at the Downs School. At the end of April, many of you will be attending the National Conference in Gatwick at the Hilton Hotel, and what an action-packed weekend this is going to be. We have 3 national finals, seminars, a mindfulness session, a wine and diamonds evening on the Friday night. And Norman Nuttall will be doing a 30-minute slot at the gala dinner called Let Me Entertain You, and this is something not to be missed. So if you're not going and you've not got your booking forms in, get them in, because Norman will enlighten you and you'll be rolling in the aisles with laughter. But oh dear, how could I forget the one and only thing that will be happening at Gatwick as well, will be the AGM. But I'm not going to bore you with that this evening, but I can say to you confidently, it will be a shorter AGM, and I will leave it at that point. We have people nodding and heads saying, oh no, he will be wrong, but let's wait and see. As all volunteers, I want to share with you something I did at Christmas in 2016, only just over about 3 months ago. 6:30 a.m, 25th of December, the alarm went off. Christmas Day, it arrived. Now, apart from spending it with friends and family, I was doing something else. I had volunteered to go and help prepare breakfast and Christmas dinner at a charity called Shelter in Manchester for the homeless and the most vulnerable. Now, you might think, what's that got to do with speakers clubs? All will be revealed in a few minutes. 37 volunteers prepared breakfast for 8:30, which was cereal and a full cooked breakfast of sausage, bacon, hash browns, tomato, and if you could have seen me in my top hat and my tails, it was a sight to be seen. But it wasn't the top hat and tails you would see normally at a wedding. These were a different pair of top hat and tails. Christmas dinner was served at 1:30, and this was the full Monty, but ladies, don't get excited. This was soup, turkey with all the trimmings, Christmas puddings and custard. And the people who attended, the homeless and some of the most vulnerable people in that area, were so grateful for a hot meal. They couldn't actually thank you enough. It's the only thing they kept saying. Thank you, you're so kind. And everybody had given up their time to come and help out. And some of them, at the end, stood around the Christmas tree. We sung Christmas carols, we had a chat, but they all went away with a little present. For some, we would be the only people they would speak to and see on that day. Some would stay behind after the sing-song and the small gifts and exchange experiences. But for me, something happened on that day that was truly amazing. And I want to share that story and that journey with you this evening. I met Linda. Now, you're all wondering who Linda is, aren't you? You are. Linda had attended, she had had her breakfast and her Christmas meal. Linda was a chartered accountant, 37 years of age. She had held a very senior management position, and she had done that for maybe 6 or 7 years. And all of a sudden, a bolt out of the blue, she was called into the office and she was made redundant. And that was quite a shock to Linda. And for quite some time, she was out of work. Depression and anxiety set in, and there was no light at the end of the tunnel. To help Linda through these periods of stress, yes, it's easily done, ladies and gentlemen, she started having a glass or two of wine. Not water, but wine. And 1 or 2 glasses led to a bottle. A bottle led to 2 bottles. And before she knew where she was a registered alcoholic. Everything looks so much better when you've had a drink. But does it? I only need a glass of wine, and I'm talking rubbish and gobbledygook anyway. I don't think it would look better for me. But for some people, the world looks a much rosier place. She lost all her friends and family. They didn't want to know her. Would you want to be associated with an alcoholic? Well, it's just a path that they've arrived at, sometimes not of their own fault. She lost her house and she became homeless. But then she went into rehab, had some hospital treatment, and started to turn her life round. Now, during this conversation, she was telling me that she wanted to build up her confidence. So I said to her, why don't you join a speakers club? And she looked at me and she said, a speakers club? Oh, I don't want to speak to anybody. And I said, yes, go and join a speakers club. And we had a chat, and I told her the work we did. We help people, give them confidence, help them to stand up and express themselves. And she said, oh no, it's not for me. What am I going to tell people if I go? They'll ask me what to do. I can't tell them, can I? Well, I said, go along and see. She said, will you come with me? So I thought, well, if somebody's asking for my help, yes, I'll go along. Now, I didn't say I was a national president. So I said, well, I do go to some meetings, but yes, I'll come along with you. So she said, well, where would we go? So I thought, well, that could be a bit tricky because everybody's going to know me, aren't they, if I go? So we decided we would go to a speakers club in Manchester, South Manchester Speakers Club. So I had to give them the nod that I was coming along, but I wasn't supposed to be anybody really, just a member going along with a potentially new member. And we went along, and she did a topic, and she was really good. And the topics chairman said, my God, she's good. Where have you found her? Oh, I said, you know, you just come across these people and you start a conversation and you ask them to join the speakers club. Now, from that day to this, Linda's been going to that club. She attends regular club meetings. She's chaired club meetings. she's actually chaired a topic session. And that is absolutely amazing. And I only spoke to her 2 weeks ago. And she said to me, without meeting you, Neil, I don't know where my life would have been. She said, it turned round going to rehab, but she said joining a speakers club has been absolutely amazing. It's given me the confidence to go out there and do the things that I never thought I would be able to do. And if there's one thing that I can say that I'm proud of in my year, was that one connection. Out of all the speakers clubs, everybody's been great, had a marvellous time. But when you can actually help people, you help people in speakers clubs, which is fantastic, all over the country. But to see a person, and for them to say that, I felt really quite choked, and I don't sort of feel that way very often. So the benefits, ladies and gentlemen, of joining a speakers club: you practice in a friendly and supportive environment. ASC has an excellent product in the Speaker's Guide. And we've heard this evening from our interim National Development Officer, who I christen Mr. Motivator, because every time he's shaking his head, but every time I see Lindsay, he never has a bad day. He's full of beans, he makes everybody feel great, he feels them full of enthusiasm. And sometimes I'm not on top notch, and I see Lindsay's face is beaming, smiling, I feel fantastic. And that's the enthusiasm that we want to spread among ASC and among members of the community to get them to come and join clubs. We want to encourage more people to attend area and district and national conferences. If you've never been, please go. It is something you would really enjoy. It's a fantastic weekend. You make new friends, you meet old friends. So going to these places, it isn't just about a weekend away listening to people speak. You see at National Conference the best of our speakers in speech, topics and evaluation. And it is a great experience. And I would encourage people to take on any office. Now people say, oh, I can't take that on, I'm too busy. Well, for me, if you're too busy, ladies and gentlemen, it's because you don't want to do it. There's no such a word as too busy. Some of the people in this room are the busiest people in the country. They work full time, they hold office at club, national, district, and they can still do it. So if you want to do something, go and do it. And do something amazing and take that journey, because it will change your life forever. To conclude, we are all volunteers. So yes, do something amazing. Spread the word. Speak up, speak out. Let your voice be heard, and join a speakers club. Now, I'm told that I am not a very loud speaker. I speak very quietly. I knew that was going to come because people normally go like this. I have got a soft voice, but I am getting better, and I'm learning. But yes, go out, speak up, speak out, let your voice be heard, and join a speakers club. Start on a journey and do something that is truly amazing.